now it's time for our featured story of the night. All right, everybody. I want to get into the Mandalorian a little bit now. You know, we've been doing our kind of open discussions about the Mandalorian the past few weeks, so it's a little bit of time to talk about the newest episode, episode 6. Only 2 episodes left, everybody. 2 left, and that's it. Her and Vin Diesel with Fast getting good license deals. Yeah, it's true. So Mandalorian is coming back. Episode 6 just came out. 2 episodes left, and this new episode, I think, it was very interesting to me. It's like a buddy cop movie, if you ask me. It's really like a buddy cop. You got Mando's the bad cop, and you got Bo-Katan's the good cop, and they're trying to solve this case in this new city because they want to get to the Mandalorians. All right. Now, the biggest thing, I just got to say it off the bat, because if you watch this episode, you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Like, how is Jack Black and Lizzo in this episode? How are Jack Black and Lizzo together, married in this episode and ruling this kingdom? It comes out of nowhere. And they popped up, and I was just like, wait, and you hear Jack Black's voice. You know what? I'm like, is that the D? You know, that's the first thing I thought. I'm like,
no onions. No onions.
I would like a seasoned curly. And I thought,
I want a junior bacon cheese. No
I'm like,
onions.
There's no way this is him. There's no way this is him. That's what I was thinking. No way. And then all of a sudden, there he is. He got the big old beard, the long messed up hair like he did for that Superman thing he was doing not too long ago. I died laughing. And I was just like, okay. And it kind of takes me out of it a little bit too, because they have been being a lot more dramatic this season. And the comedy is not like that. And especially like Lizzo and him together. I mean, I guess they must be big Star Wars fans to like bring him in. And this was just like really leading up to Bo-Katan getting the Darksaber. That's what this whole episode really was about. But it was this weird side story in its way. I guess it's trying to get them closer, Bo-Katan and Mando. It's interesting to me. I enjoyed it overall, but again, I'm like, stuff like that took me out. Christopher Lloyd popping up. Fuck yeah, Christopher Lloyd. I love me some Christopher Lloyd. I'm like, this is cool to see him. Yeah, right? Spring, were you expected to see him in this?
No, absolutely not. I don't expect him to see him alive. Like I can't even with that. Like that. When I heard his voice, like it doesn't even look like him. When I heard his voice, I was like, Jesus fuck, that's Christopher Lloyd. Like, but I actually had to like stare at the screen and be like, are my eyes and ears deceiving me? Like it's crazy. That was crazy to me. And Jack Black, honestly, like I get what you're saying 100%. But I feel like he worked. I just felt like Lizzo's acting is not up to par. And so it kind of wasn't amazing for me, like their union. Like I had zero problem with him. And I love Lizzo. Like I listen to her music all the time. I think she's great. That stripper movie she was in with Jennifer Lopez and the chick from
stripper movie.
Yeah, she was in that stripper movie with Jennifer Lopez and the fresh off the boat chick, Constance. Fuck, I can't remember her name. It was a stripper movie, dude. No. It was like nominated for awards like last year, and everyone was mad that Jennifer Lopez didn't get nominated. Like, you don't remember this?
I do not. No, no.
Well, I can't. I wish I could remember the name of the movie. I would like to Google it, but I'm afraid I might go green again. So anyway, like it's not that she's not a good actress. It's just this. I don't know. This was weird. I did like how much Grogu liked her and like how he helped her. Like,
when he flipped in the air, like landed in her arms. Like, can I hold the baby?
Feeding him. And then he was like at the bottom of her dress, and he kept like moving her dress aside. Like that was super cute to me. I just felt like I didn't really believe her being in that realm. You know what I mean? I believed Jack Black being in that realm, and I believed Christopher Lloyd being in that realm, but she didn't really sell it for me. And that's sad to say, because I do really appreciate her as an artist, as an actress, as a person. Like I think she's aces. It just didn't land for me, unfortunately, on Mandalorian. How dare you put that adorable picture of Baby Yoda next to me? I love you so much. Like he is the cute. I just want to grab him. And I was so jealous. Like she was like petting his head, and I'm like, I want to do that. This is a very, very jealous episode for me, because everything that people are doing, I want to do. Like I would love to be Kibby Schmidt on fucking the Great American Baking Show, and I would love to have been Lizzo and touch that little fucker. He is so fucking cute. I cannot take it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I like their interaction. I did like him flipping in the air. Extra onions, please, GR says. I did like that. And I thought, you're right, Jack Black, he was Jack Black, but I did enjoy
I didn't
him.
have a problem with him, honestly, but
I
she,
enjoy
like
him,
her
but
act,
it
like,
was weird though.
it seemed like she was just reading her lines, so it took me out of the universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then I like, but them going through and like solving the case was kind of fun. Them the droids
Yeah,
was kind of fun.
absolutely.
The droid bar, that was interesting to walk that man, and then Mando, like, she's like, don't talk to him, I got this, and he still jumps in and talks about
Yep.
frying his brains and turning off his voice box and shit.
I
And
feel like
then
there's a lot of bad press about Bo-Katan Kryze in this season. Like, I think she's the reason that people, like, the viewership is down like 200 million viewers or something for some reason,
it's
and I
insane.
I honestly don't know why. Like, I love her. Like, I
She's
know she
great.
was like a little salty at times or whatever, but I like their relationship and I like that they have each other's back. And I like the mission that they're going to take Mandalore back. Like, I don't know why people are mad at it, honestly. And I hope it's not a sexist thing where like she's a woman and like people are fucking pissy about it. Like, because if that's what it
I
is, you
hope
can
not
all go
either.
fuck yourselves. But she's fucking badass. And it's kind of annoying because this season has featured Baby Yoda so much more than any other season, or Grogu,
Oh
whatever you
yeah.
want to fucking call him. I will call him Baby Yoda for life. And I just feel like I don't know. I feel like they're doing a good job of showcasing him and showcasing Bo-Katan Kryze and Din Djarin's relationship, and like also bringing the Mandalorian back together. I mean, the show is called "Fucking the Mandalorian." Like, that's the
Yeah.
goal. Like, and they're moving towards that. So it doesn't make sense to me that people are upset about it, and I'm kind of bummed that they are because I'm really enjoying this season.
Yeah, that bums me too, because I think it is I was putting up on Facebook. I was like, is anybody watching The Mandalorian? Because I'm like, I think it's really good this season. A lot of people haven't been watching it. And I'm like, I just don't get it. Then again, maybe people are just like, they didn't watch the Boba Fett spinoff. And so maybe
Right.
they're confused going into it, because you miss a lot if you don't see that.
Right.
I thought it was funny they did an autopsy in this too. It's like they pull him, like, the robot out of like a little morgue thing, and they're
Yeah.
trying to find out like what's going on. I guess, Christopher Lloyd, spoiler alert, like, gave them this little nanobots to change them up and make them go evil again. But
I'm actually kind of confused as to why he did that. Like, that doesn't make sense to me still.
there really
Am I
was
alone?
there was really, like, because he sided with Count Dooku and he sided with the Empire, and so I guess he wasn't really happy with
But why
the
would
way
you
the
want to
world's gone.
destroy a society? Like, I don't, I, it's
It
still,
does
I don't, it didn't
yeah,
land for me, like,
it
what
didn't
his
make sense
purpose
to me
was, which
either.
is kind of annoying. Like, if you're going to make somebody a villain, I want to know why they're a villain. It should be clear, and
And
I'm usually
then he
very
felt sorry about it.
perceptive. Yeah. Well, because Lizzo's family has employed him for years or whatever. Like, I mean, it just that didn't land for me. Like, why he was doing what he did. Like, I like the good cop bad cop situation and like how they went about it, but like I was kind of confused as to why he was disgruntled and why he did what he did. And I feel like that should have been tied up in that episode for sure.
Yeah, I was expecting a little bit more, but then, like, it seemed almost like it was too quick almost. Now these episodes have been around 40 minutes, and I think they should be at least 10 minutes longer. Maybe there'd be a little bit more backstory leading
Mm.
up to him. I mean, and then, it was just like really quick. All of a sudden they knew it was him and they went and got him, and then, that was that. And it was very fast, that moment. And it really didn't, you're right, his explanation wasn't really that in depth. I
It
really
was
wasn't
weird.
like 100% on board with it. And a lot of people are saying this is the worst episode of the season. And I'm like,
Oh, I think the worst episode of the season
mm,
was by far the episode that showcased that fucking Empire bitch with the
oh,
fucking
Kane.
guy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what her name is, but with the guy
Yeah,
who like
Kane.
she fried his fucking brain. Like, that episode was fucking shit. This is way
That was
better
the
than that.
longest episode of the season. That was the longest one too.
Stupid.
That was like 52 minutes or something like that, 54. But, this was just like, I just felt like there could have been a little bit more. And then the fact that when they actually went and fought at the very end, so the actual Bo-Katan's like, we're gonna go to get to the Mandalorians, and then she gets to the Mandalorians, and they have that she's like, what are you going to say to her? That's what Jin said. What are you going to say to her? What are you going to say? And then she's like, I'll figure it out when I get there. And then right away, she challenges them for leadership. I thought that was a lot of fun. That battle was great. And this is like people saying not enough action on this. I'm like, right there shows you some great action. They get into it. They fight. It's awesome for me. I really enjoyed that a lot. She's like flying through the air. She's like sparing him in the air and flying over a ship. And then she's like, you surrender. And then he hits a fucking jetpack and he goes flying in the air. It was really cool. I thought that was great. And then it ends with, of course, the Darksaber. And they're like, what do we do with this Darksaber? Like, and then Mando wants to give her the Darksaber. And they're like, you can't just give her the Darksaber. And he's like, well, she actually, this is a good payoff for me. She earned it in that previous episode when she saved his life. And then she took the Darksaber. And that was, her actually getting it because she destroyed that villain that had captured him. So now she deserves it. So he didn't have to fight. He just gave her the Darksaber, and now she has it, and she's standing there at the very end holding that Darksaber. And it's like, okay, it made me really go, that's what this whole season really is. It's leading up to her being the Mandalorian.
Taking control of Mandalore.
Yeah, it really is. And that's where they've been building towards. And I think that really cemented it for me. When I saw that, I was like, oh, they really are doing that. That's what it is. Because I was back and forth about it. Like I was expecting more, like when you had the rejects or the rebel Mandalorians, and you see them in the beginning and they're on a mission. You see that very first scene, they're on a mission and they're like bounty hunters, just, they're working for a paycheck. I'm like, oh, so they're going to tie this into Moff Gideon, and they actually rescued him, and now they're going to have a battle, but they didn't even tie it together. They just showed them doing a job like that. So I'm like, did they save Moff Gideon, or was it somebody else? And to me, I thought there'd be more of something like that. Maybe they're waiting until the next episode. We got 2 left to dive into that, but I feel like they would be the ones that saved him. It seems like it. And now she leads them, so how will that play? I didn't think she was going to lead them that fast. I thought it was going to be one of those things that would be like, they have more of a challenge and then have a battle between both sides. But are there more Mandalorians out there? Is there going to be a big battle? Because in the lore, they are fighting in the lore. Apparently, there is different sides, and the Mandalorians are struggling to find out who's going to lead them. But this seemed like they got on board with her very quickly. And now the other side already seems like they're on board with them. So, like, are we going to go to Mandalore? And then there's, like, what's going to happen, Like, what's the big battle here?
They're gonna go back to where the other Mandalorians are staying, and they're gonna have a chat, and then I think that's gonna lead up to going back to Mandalore and finding the Mythosaurus. But then, like, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, the Mythosaur. But then where is the big conflict at the end? That's the question.
The conflict is the Mythosaur. Oh, Moff Gideon's definitely coming back. That's true. You're right. And also the fucked up thing is that I thought that happened in this episode, which we haven't discussed, is that when that guy put the little droid out there to like look and see what happened in that ship that Moff Gideon was in, there was Beskar in there. So like it made it seem like it was Mandalorian's fault, and it may very well have been, but just not like that sect of the Mandalore. As opposed to the helmet wearing sect of the Mandalore. So I think that's a very strong point that they put there for a reason.
I think so too. That's what I'm saying though. I thought it would be them, but if it's not them, who did it? Who saved him? And what are we gonna get? We only have 2 episodes left, so
no, it has to be this crew that she just.
You would think so?
Of. It has to be.
You would think so?
Riding an Imperial ship. I mean, all the clues are there. So? It has to be.
We're going to have to wait and see, though. 2 episodes left, probably like 84 minutes left, and then that's it. So they only have 2 episodes to clean this up, or maybe they leave it open for next season. I don't know. Maybe it's not a big bow wrapped around the whole show. We'll only have time to find out with 2 episodes left, everybody.